Hi, how is everybody doing today? I'm doing really well. We have a Yamaha stereo tuner that does not have any overcurrent protection in the AC primary from the factory, so we're going to solder a line fuse in, and I'll show you how to do that. But before anybody does that, you should contact an authorized service center before you do any of that type of work, because you could create a fire hazard or a shock hazard. But I'm going to show you how I do it. And there is the UL logo. Okay, so you can see the cord is not polarized. So here's where the power comes in from the cord, goes here and here, and there is no overcurrent protection going to this transformer here. So we're going to put the fuse in on this side here. So this is called a solder pump. A very close friend gave me this, and he passed away. His name was Bob Fleming, and he had a TV repair shop, and I enjoyed helping him there. So we're going to unsolder a wire here. Well, I can do it on this side because the plug is not polarized, so it's not going to make a difference which side I put it on. So I make sure I don't burn anything. So I just unwrap that there. I just try to get up out of that hole there. And you got the transformer. Okay, so we'll clip this back a little bit here. Okay, we'll take our fuse block here. We'll just kind of like just rough up the front and back of this terminal that we'll be soldering to, so I get a good bond with the solder. And I'll do the same on the other side. And we have some PVC, which is meant for spacing electrical parts to isolate them from a metal chassis, and we'll be using this underneath this fuse block. So you see the rivets there? If that touches the metal chassis, that'll make your chassis live. Okay, so we put a little pilot hole in this piece of PVC here for that isolation. So we'll strip a little of our insulation off on the wire from the transformer. And off of our wire from the power. Okay, so we're going to twist these strands together really nice and tight. We're going to be using rosin core solder and rosin flux. So first we will take and put our wire through our hole. This is a solid wire here, so we'll just stick it in here. We will shape it like that there, and shape it like that here. I put the soldering wire into the flux, and I put some flux on it. Put some solder on the iron. And I'll do what's called a drop solder here. Heat the terminal and the wire. There we go. That's a nice. I'm going to bring some solder back to the back there. Okay, that turned a little grainy, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the solder and wiring into the flux, reflux that a little bit, and I'll just heat it a second time. There, now see how that's a nice, clean, even solder there? I'm going to let that cool in my hand there. Now we'll take our other wire, put it in the hole, making sure all the strands are in the hole. I do the same thing, bring it down there, bring it up over here. Take my solder wire, put it in the flux. I'll put some flux on here, on the bottom and on the top. I'm going to put some solder on my iron there. And I'll just bring it over here. And I don't like how grainy that is, so I'm going to put some flux on there on the bottom and on the top. And I'll just clean my tip again here. Put a little more solder on my tip. And I'll just reheat this again. There we go. We got a real nice joint there. There you can see the solder joint up close. Okay, so now we can mount this block down here. First put the screw through the block. I made a second one of these here to make sure it's a good isolation from the metal chassis. We'll use our nut driver, and we'll tighten it from underneath here. Okay, I'll make sure everything's all nice and straight, which it is. I really like how that came out. I'm just going to tap this down just a hair so it looks nice and professional. There, that's all nice and straight. I'll hold the top with a screwdriver. And I'll just tighten the bottom with the nut driver. And we will put our 1/2 amp fuse in. Oops, I got behind that little tab there that holds it in the center there. Now it's centered. This is the other side that goes to the transformer, so now we have protection on the AC primary. So this is a digital tuner made by Yamaha. So now there is overcurrent protection in the AC primary. Thanks for watching.